Let's face it, running a remote team can be a total nightmare if you don't have the right systems in place. Deadline gets missed, communication scatters, and your growth stalls. But here's what successful founders know. When executed correctly, remote team can be your competitive advantage. Imagine accessing a world-class talent pool regardless of location, reducing overhead costs by 30% and creating a more efficient team without the cost of an office. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to structure your remote team so your team stays productive, engaged, and aligned with your vision. But remote work usually falls apart for one reason, and that is lack of structure. Without the right framework, remote teams experience chaos, poor accountability, isolation, and slow execution. But let me break down for you why remote teams struggle. Without the right structure, priorities they get confused, people work in the wrong things, deadlines slip, and your strategic goals take a backseat to your daily firefighting. Accountability becomes nearly impossible. When you don't know what people are working on, accountability becomes guesswork. And of course, the performance inevitably suffers. Without intentional connection points, your team will feel disengaged to your company and to each other, leading to disengagement and ultimately turnover. Execution slows down dramatically. Communication inefficiencies and excessive meetings translate into projects that you should take weeks, turning into months. Now, let's flip the script and see why remote work can be your business secret weapon. First, let's talk about talent. According to a study of McKinsey, companies that offer a remote position access 40% more qualified candidates than their in-office counterparts. You're no longer limited by geographic location. You can hire the absolute best person for each one of your roles, bringing diverse perspective and specialized skills into your team. Next, of course, is the financial advantage. Beyond eliminating office costs, you can optimize your compensation strategy. In many regions globally, offering what it would be a mid-range salary in places like the US represents a premium compensation locally. Offering a 60,000 annually, it would be a low salary in places like San Francisco, but it could be 3 times the local compensation in places like Colombia, Argentina, Brazil, South Africa, Serbia, allowing you to provide life-changing compensation for your employees with all the benefits that entails. And at the same time, you maintain a competitive payroll cost. Now, the productivity gains are substantial. According to a research from Stanford, remote employees are more productive than their in-office counterparts. And why? They have fewer distractions, they reduce the commute fatigue, and they have the ability to work during their peak performance hours. But perhaps the most important of them all is that top talent are actively searching for remote opportunities. Approximately 70% of employees will leave their current job for a remote opportunity. By building a remote first company, you are positioning yourself and your company to attract and retain top players who might otherwise be inaccessible for you. So, now that we understand both the pitfalls and the incredible advantages that remote work offers, let's see how to structure it so remote work actually works. The key is implementing a structured framework that creates clarity, accountability, and connection. When your team knows exactly what to expect, when it's due, and how it connects to the bigger picture, remote work transforms from chaos to cohesive. And in this video, I'll walk you through 4 proven strategies that help my clients and my own remote teams thrive. How to align your team with a 15-minute weekly call, how to implement real-time project tracking, how to build a genuine culture and strengthen relationships, and how to systematically gather feedback to improve your remote operations. Let's dive into each strategy. The foundation of remote success is a consistent weekly kickoff that sets clear priorities and creates team alignment. Every Monday, hold a 12-15-minute all hands call with these objectives. Build team cohesion, establish crystal clear priorities for the week, ensure everyone knows their specific 1, 2, 3 goals, and address potential obstacles proactively. And this is the exact format that I recommend. Pause this video for 1 second, take a screenshot so you don't lose it. Personal check-in. Each team member shares one highlight for their weekend in 15 seconds or less. This creates human connection without consuming valuable meeting time. Share some quick wins, celebrate 2-3 significant achievements from previous week. For example, the marketing team increased conversion rates by 2.3%, or development deployed a new feature that's been requested by 40% of our customers, whatever it might be. Following but this week focus, leadership shares the 1 or 2 company-wide priorities, and then each department lead states their team's focus in one sentence. For instance, marketing is focused on launching the email campaign for our new product, or customer support is prioritizing reducing response time to under 2 hours. And lastly, roadblocks. Identify any significant obstacle that require cross-team collaboration to resolve. After this initial 15 minutes, everyone goes to the focus group by department or project and continue to work on the department or role specific targets for the week. This approach creates clarity that cascades throughout your entire organization. Research from Harvard Business Review shows that teams that have clarity are 43% more likely to achieve their objective compared to those with ambiguous goals. And a little pro tip for you: record every single of these sessions and publish the key takeaways for those who couldn't join or they want reference throughout the week. If you're finding this valuable, join my free WOP communities where I help entrepreneurs scale their businesses entirely for free. I share resources and entrepreneurs help each other in scaling complexities. Check the link in the description and join my free WOP community. Number 2 is real-time feedback loops for live project tracking. The second critical component is implementing a real-time tracking system that eliminates the need for constant check-ins while obtaining complete visibility. Forget about daily stand-ups or endless email chains. They waste valuable time and generates frustration. Instead, use a visual project management system where everyone can see what's assigned to each team member, the current status of all tasks, potential blockers, and completed work. And here's how to implement this correctly. Set up a simple workflow board. As simple as to do, in progress, completed, blocked. That's it. And require team members to update the status at the beginning of each day and at the end of each day. For example, whether you're using ClickUp, Asana, or Trello, moving a task from to do to in progress and adding a little comment, starting implementation of feature X, estimated completion time by Thursday, tagging relevant team members for approval or review if needed. Set up automations that notify the right people with status changes. For example, when a designer moves a task to blocked, adding a comment, waiting on client feedback on logo options. Your client management team gets an automate notification. When one of my e-commerce clients implemented this framework, reduced their project time completion by 28% and they gain 5 hours a week that they were using in useless all hands meetings, all while improving accountability and transparency within their organization. This system works so well because it creates what I call ambient awareness. Everyone knows exactly what's happening without the need to ask or tell. It eliminates the black box problem where remote work falls into a void, replacing it with complete visibility without the need to micromanage your team. The third critical component for remote work is building your company culture and strengthen the relationships within your organization. According to Gallup research, teams with strong relationships are 21% more productive. Yet many founders think that culture is something that happens organically. But in a remote environment, culture is something that needs to be deliberately structured. And here are 6 proven strategies to strengthen your team relationship and your company culture. Number 1 is annual in-person retreat. Budget for bringing all your team together once a year and focus on strategic planning 30% of the time, skill development 30% of the time, and relationship building 40% of the time. For example, a client of mine, he ran a 3-day retreat with the entire organization with a full day of workshop, half a day of strategic planning, and the rest of the time filled up with cooking classes, hikes, outdoor adventures. But to be honest, it could be anything that you want that creates a shared experience. Now, recognition and celebration. Implement a structured recognition system. For example, create a Slack channel dedicated to celebrate wins from your team. Whether they are professional wins or personal wins, it doesn't matter. Or you can use tools like Bonusly that allows peer-to-peer recognition program. This will definitely help you to create a culture of appreciation within your organization. Now, next is team challenges. Whether they are annual or monthly, you need to set up team challenges. Will unite your team with a shared objective. It could be a shared fitness goal, it could be a photo contest, it can be reading whatever business book and sharing insights from it. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's more important to create that community feeling within your company. Next is structure one-on-one coffee chats. Use tools like Donut to randomly pair team members for 15 minutes virtual coffee chats. Provide communicational prompts that go beyond work. These informal connections will build trust between your different departments. And dedicate casual communication channels. Just set up channels in Slack for topics like pet, fitness, music, books, travel, whatever the interests are. Encourage your team to use them and share personal interest and connect on a human level. Lastly is strategic feedback collection. Set up anonymous surveys once a quarter. Ask specific questions about team connection, communication effectiveness, and of course, work satisfaction. But most importantly, share the results publicly and implement at least once of their feedback per quarter. But the key to all this is consistency. These culture building activities must be key to your operation, not just one-off activities that you do when you see the morale is low. When you see that, it's already too late. Now, let's troubleshoot some common problems that happens with remote team. Let's address the 3 most common remote work challenges and of course, the fix. Your team feels disconnected. This typically happens when communication becomes purely transactional. And the fix is implement a connection before content rule for meetings, where the first 2-3 minutes are reserved for personal check-ins. Also, schedule occasional no agenda team calls focused solely on conversation and relationship building. Your execution is moving too slowly. This usually indicates unclear priorities or decision making bottlenecks. The solution is implement a decision making framework for each project and establish clear guidelines for when team members can make decisions independently versus when they need approval. Your team is lacking direction. This happens when the connection between daily tasks and company vision becomes blurry. And the remedy is create a simple one-page strategic document that maps quarterly goals to your annual objectives. Review this into your weekly calls to consistently tie daily work to bigger picture outcomes. A common mistake that I see founders make way too often is assuming that these problems will take care by themselves instead of proactively implement this solution before minor issues become major setbacks. Now, let's synthesize our takeaways from today. Success with remote teams requires intentional structure, not more meetings. Use weekly alignment calls to create clarity on priorities, implement real-time project tracking to increase visibility without micromanagement, build culture deliberately through consistent connection points. Address remote work challenges proactively with targeted solutions. Remember these three key principles above all else. Clarity beats frequency, visibility creates accountability, and intentional connections build culture. But here's the thing, implementing this strategy is much easier when you have the help from other founders facing the exact same challenges as you do. And that is exactly why I'm building a free community on WOP for founders to help each other scale their businesses. We are a group of founders and CEOs who are actively sharing what's working, what's not, and helping each other scale our businesses. Inside of the community, you'll find direct access to me and other successful entrepreneurs, templates and frameworks for all the things that I discuss in my channel, and last but not least, a network of ambitious entrepreneurs that are ready to help you out, all for free. But let me just tell you something, this is not another online group. This is a carefully curated community of serious entrepreneurs that are committed to growth. Click the link in the description to join us today. Again, it's completely for free and it might just be the best decision that you make for your business. And while you're there, just share your name, your business, your goals, and your challenges. I promise that I read every single one of them and try to help as much as I can. But there are also many other founders who are ready to help you out. And if this video was helpful, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the next videos that I'm gonna release in this channel. I'll see you inside the community.